Welcome everybody to Kansas Speedway. My name is Josh Paul. Here we are with the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series, getting ready for 100 heart-pounding laps here at Kansas Speedway. This is the Dr. Wiggles 150. And we see Eddie Smith, currently the fastest car on the track. You see outside of him the 13 of Garrett Kinder running a new paint job here tonight in that Wiener wagon machine. In fact, we see quite a few drivers out there in that same paint job. We see Jonah Colbert also rocking that pink and green car just behind him. The 54 of Daniel Cunningham also in those paint. So it's going to be an awesome race tonight here. Let's take a look at your points coming into tonight. See Eddie Smith currently at the top of the board. Andy Kurtz sits back in second. Charles Stevens, Brandon Wallace, and Mike Kosick round out your top five. Matt Kleeman sits back in sixth. Daniel Cunningham in seventh. Jason Lottridge eighth. Jonah Colbert and Steve McDonald back in ninth. In 10th. Jonathan Cofield back in 11th. Brendan Pollock, Matt Knights, Jason Warren, and Greg Barnett round out your top 15. Got a lot of drivers out there getting their practice in. You see, as I mentioned, Jonah Colbert also running those same colors right behind him. We see the 54 of Daniel Cunningham in a similarly painted machine. So this will probably be the toughest race I've had to call in a while because there'll be so many cars out there running that same paint job. Mike Kosick sits back in fifth place on the speed charts. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube. We do appreciate you joining us here this Friday night. Of course, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. So Kansas Speedway recently repaved just a few years back. So the surface is very tough on tires. It's a fast track, not a lot of banking. So it can make tire wear at this track incredibly difficult. We see Mike Kosick doing some practice pit stops right now. Jonathan Cofield sits back in second. 1.5 mile track. Turns are banked 17 to 20 degrees progressively. Front stretch at 9 degrees on the bottom, 11 degrees on the top. The backstretch banked at 5 degrees. So this track has a bit of banking on the backstretch as well. Which can make it incredibly interesting. As we are about a minute and a half away from getting qualifying underway. Got a great race last week at Nashville Super Speedway. Very much the same, a track that is very tough on tires. It's tough to get around. Here at Kansas, you're going to see drivers working that high line. The low lane is going to be a little bit harder to try to make passes. It can be done, but it will chew up the tires. So expect that high lane to be the preferred lane here tonight. As I see these three out on track right now, and it's going to make my night incredibly difficult. So I'm going to thank them in advance for these paint jobs. You see Garrett Kinder gets up into the wall. How about Sam Wetstein in that 98 machine, currently 6th on the speed charts. Sam showing some speed here tonight. So far, only 18 cars getting ready to qualify here at Kansas Speedway. Let's see who our first driver is to make their way out onto the racetrack. It looks like it will be the 31 of Jonah Colbert. And usually we don't say this too much, but this track qualifying will be crucial because it's so tough to pass here. That track position will be very important here tonight. Jenna runs right down on that white line, trying to take the shortest way around the track. And on fresh tires, you can make that bottom lane work. But as the run goes on, that bottom lane will eat up those tires pretty quickly. And they'll force the drivers to start migrating up the track towards the wall. As Jonah comes across the line to take the white flag. And across the stripe, Jonah Colbert is going to go 31.12. That puts him currently up at the top of the board. Garrett Kinder's ran a 31.20, so he's going to slide back in second. Daniel Cunningham goes 31.21, so he's going to slot back in third. Jonathan Cofield comes across the line on his first lap. He jumps up to fourth on the speed chart with a 31.21. Mike Kosick goes 31.20. He'll jump up into third. And off of turn number 4, Cofield's going to come across the line. And he will jump up to P2. Knocking Garrett Kinder back into the 3rd position. Alien Eddie Smith about to take the green flag, coming off of turn number 4. So Eddie running that high lane, and he's going to continue to run that high lane. That's where I expect to see a lot of drivers running here tonight. Using that high lane to keep that momentum up off the corner. Down across the line on his first lap. He's going to jump up into the 7th position. Let's see if he dives down to the low side. No, he's going to stay up on that high side here for his 2nd lap. You can see that high lane able to keep a little more momentum up off the corner. Let's see how he qualifies here using this high line. And Eddie's going to run a 31.15 up on that high line. That's going to be good enough for 3rd. Charles Stevens Jr. coming down the backstretch on his 2nd lap. And off of turn number 4, down across the stripe. And he is going to go P8. 1 driver left to qualify. That is the 64 of Matt Knights, who just took the white flag. And with about 10 seconds left, we'll see if he's able to get a lap in here before the server flips over to race. Looks like he's going to shut it off here down the backstretch. And that is going to do it here. As we take a look at your starting grid, and as always, your starting grid, your pole award, sponsored by Peg Leg Felts. Jonah Colbert is going to win the Peg Leg Pole Award, with Jonathan Cofield starting in P number 2. Eddie Smith will roll off 3rd with Garrett Kinder to his outside in the 4th position. Sorry about that. Let me turn that off.
Reset the tires in the pits for 4 total. 2-stone rule is in effect tonight. I believe the restart.
I apologize for that. I thought I had the voice chat turned off. Let's go back to our starting grid. 5th will be Mike Kosick in the 8 machine. Steve McDonald starting his outside in 6th. Dale Cunningham from the 7th position, and Charles Stevens Jr. rolling off from 8th. 9th will be Gavin Atarski. Gavin Atarski back in the 36 machine in 9th, and Sam Wedstein in 10th. Sorry, that name threw me for a loop. 11th will be Matt Kleeman and Jason Lottridge back in 12th. 13th will be the 10 of Jave Jones with Brandon Pollock in 14th to his outside. 15th, we'll find Tyler Rice in the 6th and Matt Knights back in 16th. And rounding out your last row, 17th will be the 01 of Mickey Isaac, and Brandon Wallace qualifies in the 18th position. As we wait for the field to make their way onto the track so we can get gridded up here and get ready to roll here at Kansas Speedway. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we do appreciate you joining us here. Again, if this is your first time here, this is the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series. This is the Dr. Wiggles 150 here at Kansas. as the field is rolling down the backstretch. And we get ready to go a green flag racing. Again, we know the restart zone is in effect for restarts, but green flag, the first start of the race will start on the starter. And then we'll go over the restart rules if we do indeed have a caution, but here we go. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Kansas. Already, Jonah Colbert getting himself a good lead over second place now, Eddie Smith, as Eddie Smith has gotten around Jonathan Cofield to take over that second position. And Eddie Smith still committed up to that high lane as the field makes their way across the stripe for the first time. And Jonah Colbert is going to lead the first lap of the race. Eddie Smith, though, still using that high lane. Now we see Jonah moving up to that high lane as well. He sees Eddie up there, and it's working for him. Now Jonathan Cofield moves up there as well. Up on the high side, just behind, we see the 13 of Garrett Kinder. Daniel Cunningham is going to jump up in that third lane as well and try to get around the 8 of Mike Kosick. It's Kosick down on the low side. Battling side by side with Kinder. We see Sam Wetstein battling side by side back there with the 36 of Gavin Otarski as well. Kevin Kinder, it's good to see you out there as well. Thanks for joining us. Always rooting on that number 13 machine. As now Daniel Cunningham looking down to the inside of Mike Kosick as they make their way off of turn number 4. Kosick's going to fight back hard on that high side. Oh, Cofield just bounced off the wall right in front of Garrett Kinder. He's slow down on the low side. They're 3 wide as Kinder stuck in the middle. Kosick going around on the high side. Now we are still 3 wide as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Kevin, I'm not sure why there's 3 cars with the same paint. I see Jonah Colbert, Garrett Kinder, and Daniel Cunningham all running the same paint job out there. It is making my life just as hard as we see Cunningham working around the high side of the 58 of Cofield. Again, Cofield just recently bounced off the wall. Doesn't look like there's too much damage to that 58 machine, but he's been falling back as we see the 36 of Gavin Otarski is running the 18 on your screen, but 36 on the ticker, working his way down on the low side, getting his way through the field, working to the inside of Charles Stevens Jr. Up front, Eddie Smith challenging Jonah Colbert for the lead. Jonah able to stay out in front that lap. Meanwhile, Garrett Kinder in the 13 starting to run back down the 8. Mike Kosick. We said that low lane really wouldn't be an option for some drivers, but Garrett's down there trying to make that work. Though every time he runs down there, he does burn up those tires just a little bit more. As Eddie Smith looking up to the high side of Jonah Colbert as they make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Eddie's going to have the position off the corner. And Eddie Smith is going to clear the 31 of Jonah Colbert to move over into the top spot. Meanwhile, Garrett Kinder working down to the low side. He's trying to get around Kosick and Jonah Colbert. And Kinder able to drive so much deeper into the corner. He is going to slide up in front of Jonah Colbert. So move Garrett Kinder up into the second spot, but Jonah wants that position back as they dive down into turns 3 and 4. 31 and 13 side by side in similar paint jobs. Mike Kosick looking at the position there, thought about making it 3 wide for a moment, tucks back in behind the 13 of Garrett Kinder. And Kinder's just slideways coming through turns 1 and 2. Now Daniel Cunningham making his way through the field. A little further back, Steve McDonald getting around the 58 of Cofield, and McDonald now up into the 6th position. He's continuing to try to work his way forward. Meanwhile, these two continue to duke it out. Now Kinder down on the low side and Colbert up on the high side. And now Kinder is going to have to tuck in line. But he's going to challenge down on that low side yet again as they make their way through the tri-oval and down towards turn number 1. Kosick now taking a look down to the inside of Garrett Kinder. And he's challenging Kinder for that 3rd position. And even though we're only 13 laps in, we're already starting to see the speeds drop quite a bit. Eddie Smith's best lap time of the race, your leader, ran a 31:31 for his best lap time. His last lap was a 32:64, so already over a second of drop-off in 13 laps. And we're going to see those tires continue to fall off as the race goes on. We know Eddie Smith is really good at saving his tires. He always has really good long-run speed, not really good short-run speed, but right now he is out front and pulling away from the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Steve McDonald now moves himself up into the 5th position around Mike Kosick. So Steve McDonald, after falling back a couple positions on the start of the race, slowly moving his way back through the field. Another battle for position back here. We've got the 98 of Sam Wettstein battling with Brandon Pollock. And Wettstein's going to take over that 9th position. As the battle back here continues, we see Matt Knights looking down underneath Davy Jones. And Gavin Otarski back, falling back 5 positions so far. After he was moving himself forward, now he's starting to fall back. Must have burned those tires off early, which is really easy to do here at Kansas as this battle up front is continuing to heat up. And Jonah Colbert was trying to get down to the low side of Eddie Smith, but Eddie's just run that high side too strong. Cofield was peeking out of line, trying to get around the 8 of Kosick. So this battle is continuing here as Kosick down on the bottom, trying to get around Steve McDonald. McDonald working on the high side, trying to march himself forward, and Jonathan Cofield trying to work his way back through the field after early contact with the wall. These cars continue to run under a blanket. Your leaders, Eddie Smith and Jonah Cobert, have checked out from the rest of the field, and they're continuing to try to do battle with each other. As we are coming to lap number 20 of 100. And now the tire fall off has been almost 2 seconds in 20 laps. And you figure these guys would usually try to run out the fuel tank as best they can, but tires might be giving up faster than the fuel here. As we already have a couple drivers who have given up almost 3 seconds from where they started the race. Jonah Colbert is able to get back around Eddie Smith to move himself up into the lead. Garrett Kinder stocking the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. They make their way down the front stretch and into turn number 1. And last time by, Cunningham was the fastest car on the track with a 33.02. Your leaders just ran a 33.17 and a 33.37 respectively. Now Garrett Kinder diving down to the bottom, trying to retake that third position as they come across the stripe. Garrett Kinder just out by a nose, but not able to clear the 54 of Cunningham. And as they run side by side, Mike Kosick, Steve McDonald starting to hone in on these two, start reeling them in just a little bit. Big wiggle out of Cunningham. That's going to give an advantage to Garrett Kinder as they come down into turn number 1. Kinder trapped down on that low side, just losing all the momentum, not able to get around Cunningham. He's going to drive it in hard this time, trying to slide up in front of the 54. And he's going to clear the 54, so move Kinder solidly up into that third position. Well, I would expect to see pit stops within the next 15 laps or so, as the tire fall off continues to worsen for these drivers. Now Kosick taking a look down underneath Cunningham, trying to take away that fourth position. Kosick showing some great long run speed, as he's thought about tucking up in front of Cunningham, but not able to do that. He's going to stay down on the low side and tuck back in line behind Cunningham now. Meanwhile, Jonah Cobert starting to pull away from second place Eddie Smith. His lead is now almost a second as they come off of turn number 4. You see Eddie way back there, just barely, almost hitting the wall. Eddie Smith using every inch of the racetrack. run that high line, trying to keep up as much momentum as he can without scrubbing off too much speed. And man, last time he came off of turn 4, he was a mere centimeters from the wall. And yet again, same thing. So Eddie Smith showing some great car control right there as Garrett Kinder and Daniel Cunningham continue to battle it out here for third place. Cunningham clears the 13 of Garrett Kinder. And Mike Kosick, Kinder having a little connection issue right there. And Kosick working up on the high side of the 13 machine. Battle back here between Sam Wetstein and Mickey Isaac. Isaac currently your biggest mover of the race, up 7 positions, up into the top 10. So he's continuing his march forward. Mickey Isaac, the closer, always there towards the front at the end. As the battle for third place starts to heat up, Daniel Cunningham has Mike Kosick now right on the back bumper. Kosick, though, falling off just a little bit. Ratchet Miller says, howdy, Josh, and every race fan. Good to see you, Ratchet. Now that Ratchet's here, we'll probably get a yellow flag to tighten up the feet. No, I'm just kidding, Ratchet. Got to give you the jabs where I can. But Eddie Smith right now falling backwards. Last time by, ran a 33.57. Daniel Cunningham ran a 33.20. And Jonah Cooper ran a 33.40. So Daniel Cunningham right now, the fastest car on the track. Jonah Colbert had a 2-second lead. That's starting to shrink now. As Eddie Smith continues to fall backwards. And Ratchet, if you're just tuning in, I'm not sure why there's 3 cars that are painted the same. But, oh! Eddie Smith gets turned by Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham comes across the track. Yellow flag is not out. No caution. As Eddie Smith and Daniel Cunningham made contact on track, and Cunningham is starting to fall backwards with the damage after hitting the wall. So no caution flies. Jason Lottridge hits pit road. Eddie Smith with some damage falling backwards now. And remember, these drivers do not have resets, so any damage that they accrue during this race, they will have to get fixed if they want to get back out there and competitive. And unfortunately, you can't get what Eddie Smith and Daniel Cunningham have fixed under a green flag pit stop. You'll lose way too much time, so they're just out there hoping for a yellow, trying to get themselves back in contention. Jonathan Cofield trying to get around Eddie Smith. And you see the damage to the back of Eddie Smith's car. We can ride along here on the nose of Mickey Isaac. And you can see all that damage to the back of the 87. while it really doesn't look like much, I can really slow that 87 down, especially the damage on the side of the car as well. Daniel Cunningham has exited the track, and he is retired from this race. As Mickey Isaac working down to the inside of Jonathan Cofield, but Cofield a little too strong right now, so he's going to stay out in front of Mickey Isaac. And Mike Kosick has a hard-charging Garrett Kinder in that 13 machine. So a couple drivers hitting pit road. We see Tyler Rice has made his way down on the pit road. Jason Lyridge is already pit as well. As this battle is starting to heat up on track. And we are about 2 to 3 laps from what I think will be the pit window here. Skinner takes a look down to the inside of the 8. Trying to get that 13 machine to stick down on the low side to get around Kosick. Kosick just a little too strong right now up on that high side. Kosick still fighting back on the high side here. So we ride along with Garrett Kinder. Looks like my buttons for moving the cameras around aren't working the way they should be, so. As Kinder tries to slide up in front of Kosick, but Kosick had the run on the high side. That slide job didn't work, and Kinder's going to have to tuck back in line and try to do it all over again. So up front, Jonah Colbert still extending his lead, has almost a 4-second lead over Mike Kosick and Garrett Kinder. Matt Knights making his way down on the pit road. As we see Gavin Otarski getting ready to go a lap down. Eddie Smith now making his way down pit road as well. Again, not sure how much damage there is to this 87 machine. We see a lot of damage to the right front wheel area. We see, we know the back end is tore up pretty big. You can see the wheel actually sticking out a little bit from that right front. So a lot of damage, unfortunately, to Eddie Smith here. And pretty much going to end his chances here tonight. As he is now down and away. And Jonah Colbert, excuse me, I apologize. Jonah Colbert has now stretched his lead to almost 4.5 seconds. Garrett Kinder now working the high side of Kosick trying to retake that second position. Kosick, though, right now just too strong. Garrett Kinder cannot find a way around that 8 machine. And it looks like Kosick's coming down on the pit lane this time. So our first leader to peel off on the pit road. I believe we'll start seeing everybody making their way down the pit road. And these drivers trying to stretch it to lap 50. They make it on just one stop. We know drivers like Mike Kosick now. And no, here comes Jonah Colbert. So all these drivers will have to make it 2 stops as Colbert gets woed down. Oh, think he got woed down there. That's going to give the lead over to the 13 of Garrett Kinder. And Jonah Colbert is down and away, so he was able to get on and off pit road under the right speed. Now Garrett Kinder is going to make his way down on the pit road. Right behind him, we see Charles Stevens Jr. Oh, Kinder locks him up. Stevens catches the pit cone. Steve McDonald also making his way down on the pit road, and we're going to check to see if there's any penalties on these drivers making their way on the pit road. So Jonathan Cofield takes over the lead. Mickey Isaac about a half a second behind. Oh, tough break for Charles Stevens Jr. He is still on track. Too fast on pit road. He's got a 40-second hold here. So that is going to end his chances unless a caution comes out. So tough break for Stevens Jr. We saw him hit the cone trying to get woed down. And unfortunately for him, he's got a penalty and has to sit on pit road. You see what's the 18 on the track? The 36 of Gavin Otarski getting around Jonathan Cofield to get back onto the lead lap. So a few drivers left to pit as Brandon Pollock makes his way on pit road. Jonathan Cofield, Mickey Isaac, Sam Wetstein, Matt Kleeman, Brandon Wallace, Dave Jones, all yet to pit. Yeah, Ratchet says the 31 and 13 got similar paint jobs. It's the 13, the 31, and the 54 are all running the same paint job. The 54, unfortunately, is out of the race after contact with the wall after getting into the side of Eddie Smith. Mickey Isaacs now makes his way down on the pit road. As you see Eddie Smith going around up on the high side. And Cofield's going to make his way down on the pit road. So Cofield, after running that many laps, he spins it coming on the pit road. He catches the inside wall. Able to get it woed down, but that's going to do some damage to the right side or left side of that car. And Sam Wetstein's going to take over the lead. We see the 19 of Matt Kleeman trying to take over the lead as well. So Sam's going to lose the lead he just had to Matt Kleeman, who's going to take over the lead. And these drivers are really stretching this fuel run. But you can see the difference fresh tires make as you see Steve McDonald making his way right here through the drivers, trying to get back onto the lead lap. And he will easily drive back around Matt Kleeman. And you see the speed difference from old to new tires. No problem, Ratchet. There's, like I said, those three are all running similar paint jobs here tonight. It is the race sponsor, the Dr. Wiggles 150 here at Kansas. Matt Kleeman continues to lead here. And we hear him downshifting. He's making his way down on the pit road. So Sam Wetstein is going to retake over the lead. And not sure what happened to Garrett Kinder. Kinder is currently running back in the 8th position. He was running in 2nd. But Mike Kosick, Dave Jones, and Tyler Rice have all gotten around him under this green flag round of pit stops. So he finds himself back in 7th currently with both Sam Wetstein and Brandon Wallace yet to pit. Of course, Sam and Brandon both trying to run the strategy where if the yellow was to come out, they'd be in a good position with fresher tires than the rest of the field, unless the rest of the field came in pit too. Sam looks like he's going to be making his way down on the pit road this time. Oh, he locks up the tires coming on the pit road. Will he get slowed down in time? He will. So that's going to put Brandon Wallace as your leader. And Brandon Wallace is about to lose the lead as we see Jonah Colbert making his way down the backstretch. And you can see again just the difference in speed between old tires and new tires as Wallace gets past just like that. Now Wallace is going to make his way down onto pit road. He easily gets down the pit road speed. So Jonah Colbert retakes the lead here on lap 59. And he's got a 6.5 second lead over second place, Mike Kosick. Oh, saw the Gavin Otarski back there really sideways off of turn number 2. Able to hold on to it, doing a great job holding on to that machine as he was absolutely wrecking off of turn number 2. Currently a lap down, running back in the 17th position. Should I take that back? He is 2 laps down, running back in 17th. And doing everything he can to hold on to that car. As he is right behind second place, Mike Kosick. Garrett Kinder's worked his way back up into 3rd. And Eddie Smith back up into the top 5. Currently sitting back in the 5th position. But a lot of racing left to go. We have 40 laps to go. And the field's starting to get a little bit spread out right now. We can see the field on the track map here. You see the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Continues to lead. Mike Kosick now all over the back bumper of Garrett Kinder. Kinder's moved himself up into the second position. Yeah, Ratchet JC doing work out here, putting on another clinic. He had such bad luck last week at Nashville Super Speedway that he was so hot in the interview as Eddie Smith makes his way down onto pit road. He's got William Griffith coming in as well. Griff is quite a few laps down. And I don't know if Eddie's going to be retiring the car here or if it's just so bad he wants to get that thing fixed up. He's going to take a big hit in his points lead here tonight. See what he does as he comes down on the pit road. Right side's going on. So he's going to get tires and fuel. And I think he might sit here and get this car fixed up as well. If you weren't here last week, Jonah Colbert was leading when a lap car misjudged where he was on the track and ended up taking him out. He still rebounded for a podium finish, but he was not too happy at the end of that race. So trying to rebound here and have a good finish. And Eddie Smith has left pit lane. Kevin Kinder says, I think Dr. Werner Wiggle, it's Dr. Wiggle's Wiener Wagon is the paint job that both Jonah Colbert and Garrett Kinder are running, along with the 34 Daniel Cunningham, who again has retired from the race. Mickey Isaac looking down to the inside of Jonathan Cofield. So move Mickey Isaac up into the 7th position. And Garrett Kinder now pulling away from Kosick. Running back in second. That gap is now just over 2 seconds. Or just under 2 seconds, excuse me. So I was looking for, well, there's a little break in the action. Actually, Mickey Isaac trying to get back around Jonathan Cofield. We're going to go back to lap number 32 because this is our Cofield Tough Luck Award of the night. And this was a little bit of contact here. Let's rewind and see the exact moment here. It looks like, Eddie Smith actually bounced off the wall in front of Cunningham, and that's what caused that incident to happen. So Cunningham didn't make any contact with Eddie Smith until after Eddie had bounced off the wall. So, but that is your Cofield Asphalt Refinishing Tough Luck Award. As Garrett Kinder finds himself in second place, and he is actually starting to run down the 31 of Jonah Colbert. That lead now under 6 seconds. Sorry, Kevin. I know I saw you got your warning there from my moderator. I'm tired of seeing those not so friendly messages up in the chat. So I got the bot working. So you know not to spam those emotes. And Alien, yeah, he's trying to pull a sneaky pit strategy, and Eddie Smith currently back in the 17th position. We'll have to see if this pit strategy works out for him. And oh, Davy Jones. Not Davy Jones, I'm sorry, that's Brandon Pollock. Just ended up going through John Deere country there. Let's go back and take a look to see what happened to the 4 machine. It looks like he just caught the wall. Don't know if he took his eyes off the track or what he did. But, yeah, able to get back going, and he is currently running in the 12th position. Oh, I want to put the time delta this way. Let's try that again. And you see that lead of Jonah Colbert's starting to shrink a little bit. Currently 5.7 seconds, and you can see over the last few laps, not that lap because Kinder ran a little bit slower than Jonah that time, as Kinder has a little connection issue and he falls back off the track. Uh-oh. There he is. Kinder is back on track now. So he is starting to run down that 31 machine as Jonah Colbert runs into a little bit of lap traffic. And we know that clean air is so important for these Gen 6 cars. So right now, Jonah Colbert running behind Sam Wedstein. All that dirty air dumping on these cars, that's actually slowing Jonah down even more. And that might be a little bit of an opportunity that Garrett Kinder needs to run down Jonah Colbert, as next time we come down across the line, we will have just 20 laps to go. Of course, we know Jonah Colbert, Garrett Kinder, Mike Kosick, they cannot make it to the end here on fuel. At least I don't think they can. The longest run we saw out of anybody here tonight was Brandon Wallace with a 58-lap run. Even though Jonah Colbert, if he can stretch it 54 laps here, he's been running a little bit faster laps than Brandon Wallace was running at the beginning of the race, so he may have a little less fuel in the tank. We'll see if he's able to stretch it 54 laps. Garrett Kinder, though, 52 laps is what he's going to have to make it to the end, so he might be able to stretch that extra 2 laps from, or 4 laps from what he ran his last pit stop, although he is, again, closing in on Jonah Colbert. That lead now down to 5.7 seconds. Mike Kosick's going to be the driver who's going to have the hardest to stretch the fuel here. As you take a look at when everybody came in pit road last. So that's when they made their last stop. So it'll be interesting to see just how far Jonah Colbert and Garrett Kinder can stretch this tank of fuel. Steve McDonald and Tyler Rice battling at it right now. This is a battle for 4th place. Oh, and Steve McDonald bounces off the wall. He's down in John Deere country now. Able to get it straightened out. No caution for the 68 as we're going to have 15 laps to go when we come across the line this time. So as the laps continue to wind down, Jonah Colbert continues to lead. So we see the 31 of Jonah Colbert. And you see Jonah Colbert on the track. You see where Garrett Kinder is running in relation. That's what 4.6 seconds looks like on the track map. They come down the backstretch. Kinder just coming off of turn number 2, and we close to 10 laps. Go caution! Caution is out on the track. And the 36 of Gavin Otarski bringing out the yellow here. This will change everything. And that's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we take a look to see what happened to the 18 machine to bring out this caution, or the 36, excuse me. Catches the wall hard off of turn number 4 and loops it right here on the front stretch. We see Steve McDonald making his way, and that's why the caution flag came out. So let's see if this changes everything. And who comes down pit road? It looks like Jonah Colbert, Garrett Kinder, Mike Kosick, Mickey Isaac. Looks like the entire field making their way down pit road. Kleeman comes down pit road as well. Oh, Kleeman stalled it coming down onto pit road. Looks like he stalled it again. There he gets it running. Let's see who can get off of pit road first. And Colbert's down and away. Kinder, Kosick down away. And Mickey Isaac coming off of pit road in 4th. Jonathan Cofield. And is barely going to beat Steve McDonald off of pit road. Sam Wetstein stays out. I think he was just trying to catch the field. He's going to pit next time by. Kevin Kinder says time for plan B. And Ratchet Miller says, oh, shake it up, fellas. 87, what you going to do? And it looks like we're going to have fresh tires all up and down the field. So this will be our first opportunity to talk about the restart zone. If you're not familiar with that, as they come across the line here, you'll see that blue Geico on the wall and on the apron of the track. That is the Geico restart zone. So the leader must maintain pace speed through the restart zone. If he accelerates before the restart zone, he will get a black flag for jumping the start. If second place beats the leader to the restart zone, he will get a black flag for jumping the start. If either driver slows down too much, they'll get a black flag for not maintaining pace speed. The leader can choose to refire anywhere in that box. If he fires off at the beginning of the box or at the end of the box, it doesn't matter. The green flag will come out as soon as he hits the accelerator. If he chooses not to restart in the box, after they exit the box, the green flag will come out by the flagman indicating the restart of the race with or without the leader. So, gives the leader a predefined area to restart. As we already see him starting to re-rack and restack here. Bunch of drivers out in front of our leaders here. We see Tyler Rice, Matt Knights, Eddie Smith, Dave Jones. Brandon Pollock, Brandon Wallace. So all these drivers that you see here in front of our leaders, they are the tail end of the lead lap. And when the lights on the pace car go off and we go back 1 to go, all those drivers will be waving themselves around the pace car, and there they go as the lights are off on the pace car. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here. Jonah Colbert's going to choose the inside lane. Garrett Kinder to the high side. Mickey Isaac's going to restart in 3rd with Mike Kosick in 4th. And Matt Kleeman restarting in 5th with Jonah Cofield back in 6th. So here we go. We're going to get a restart with about 7 laps to go here. Of course, you always know cautions can breed cautions. We'll see if we're able to run it green to the end or if we get another caution with a desperation move here towards the end as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And Jonah Colbert leads them down to the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. And a great jump for our leader, Colbert, over Garrett Kinder. Kinder, though, wasting no time trying to block the run from behind. He's going to dive down to the bottom and try to get any advantage he can off the corner to try to run down that 31 of Jonah Colbert, who's been so fast tonight. Mickey Isaac looking down to the inside of Mike Kosick. We've seen Isaac firing off with some good short run speed here tonight. Kosick not really having that short run speed. 5 laps to go as they cross the line. Kinder running in the tire tracks of that 31 machine as they rocket down the backstretch. Mickey Isaac now into the 4th position. He's fallen off the back bumper of Mike Kosick. That time by, Garrett Kinder was slightly faster than Jonah Colbert. Does he have enough here at the end to try to get around that 31 machine? Kinder using a little bit more of that track as Jonah Colbert was being a little more conservative off of turn number 2. And Kinder's right there on the back bumper. He's going to make the move down to the inside into turn number 1. Garrett Kinder going for the lead here with 3 laps to go. Jonah Colbert, though, fighting back hard on that high side. While they're running side by side, it's allowing Mike Kosick to come up into the mix here as well. Kinder, pushes off the bottom just a little bit. He has to chase the car up the track. And as they come down the front stretch, he's going to tuck back in line behind Jonah Colbert. Now tucks back down to the bottom. We have 2 laps to go. Kosick now here looking to the inside of Garrett Kinder as they enter turn number 1. Kosick, though, doesn't have the run to try to get around Kinder. Almost pushes up into the wall. Does Kinder have enough here to make a last-ditch effort as they come off of turn number 4? The flagman has the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Kansas Speedway. Does Kinder have anything for Colbert? They make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Kinder a little bit more speed. Then Jonah Colbert down into turn number 3. But off of turn number 4. And Jonah Colbert's going to win it here at Kansas. Garrett Kinder comes home 2nd. Mike Kosick 3rd. Mickey Isaac, the closer, back in 4th. And Matt Kleeman round out your top 5. But your winner tonight is the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Another clinic from the master in that 31 machine. As he starts the celebration, just sliding it down into the inside while he starts the demolition derby on his own. As everybody misses. There we go. We've got the traditional Original Rebels Racing League Demolition Derby here at the end. And we'll take a look at your full results. Jonah Colbert gets the win. Garrett Kinder in 2nd. Mike Kosick, Mickey Isaac, and Matt Kleeman round out your top 5. Jonathan Cofield comes home in 6th. Sam Wedstein 7th. Steve McDonald in 8th. Charles Stevens Jr. and Brandon Wallace round out your top 10. 11th will be Brandon Pollock with Tyler Rice in 12th. Matt Knights comes home 13th with Eddie Smith back in 14th and Jason Lottridge in the 15th position. Davy Jones comes home in 16th. Gavin Atarski, still struggling with that one, comes home 17th. William Griffith back in 18th. And 19th was Daniel Cunningham. Yeah, there wasn't enough time to fall asleep on the yellow flags here tonight, Kevin. Not like a couple of nights ago at Pocono. So let's talk to our top three here tonight. Starting with third place finisher, Mike Kosick. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you tonight. Another solid top three finish. That late race caution there kind of shaking things up. Did you think you might have had a chance for these guys at the end, or do you think they just had too much speed? I know you had really good long run speed, and your short run speed really wasn't there throughout the night.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything for either one of them. I kind of committed to the high side, thinking it would be good on the long run, but I think all that did was burn my right rear off. So I don't know what they were doing different, but there was no way I was keeping up with them.
Yeah, and that's one thing I talked about in the pre-race and all through the race, that high side versus the low side. Low side really seemed to eat up the tires, and committing up to that high side to kind of save tires. Is that kind of the overall strategy tonight, just to try to save your stuff there for the end and try to salvage a good finish here tonight?
Yeah, I think I probably only had a top five car. Eddie and Daniel were definitely faster. Unfortunately, they got into a little accident, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of ride the top. Seemed hard, difficult to pass. You couldn't really get a good run, so I was just going to use the top for defense and just try to finish as best I could.
For sure. Well, a great run here tonight. Helps out your points situation here. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Um, yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast, all the admins for putting on the league, and my teammates at Bandit Motorsports.
And one last question. Next week we move on to Bristol. How you like your chances at the short track?
Um, I think that's just going to be luck of the draw there.
For sure, usually is. Well, again, congrats on the podium, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
So that was your third place finisher, Mike Kosick. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Garrett Kinder. Garrett, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh, what's up, man?
Man, what a wild run there. You were catching Colbert there towards the end, and the caution flag came out. Do you think if that caution didn't come out, you might have had a chance to run Colbert down?
No, we were within 20 to go, and I was still 5 seconds back, making up. Maybe if I was lucky, I was making up a tenth or two a lap. So it would have been something bad would have had to happen to him for me to be able to catch him on that long run. So no, I don't think I would have caught him.
Well, still a fantastic run there. Then that yellow flag came out, which was totally unexpected there to give you that late race restart. Is there anything you think you might have been able to done differently, or you just think Jonah just had the speed all night long?
Jonah and I were pretty evenly matched, I think, on a lot of the lines we were running were very similar. A lot of our on throttle, off throttle points were very similar. We ran together in practice quite a bit, and it was neck and neck. So I knew it was going to be tough getting around him. I got inside one time and got down and hung my quarter panel and side drafted these cars. Man, they're just treacherous whenever they got side draft going on them. So, man, now there wasn't anything else I could have done. I duked it out best I could. Never really got loose, which I was expecting on that short run, but never really got loose. Just came up a little short. A little bit of field position earlier in the race kind of maybe played into it, but man, fun race. I had an absolute blast. These cars, they were loose, which, as you know, I like doing it. That first run, my right rear was down to 22%, so I was wheeling it on that first run for sure. So it was just fun all the way around. A lot of guys that were just hanging it out, having a good time and laughing about it. So I had a lot of fun.
Well, I have to ask because it's been the conversation in the chat here tonight. What was up with the matching paint jobs here tonight?
So I can't remember what night it is, but on I guess it's Tuesday night, our late night cup series that we had a couple I guess it was last year. We ran the Gen 6, the Ford Fusion, and the Chevy, whatever the heck it was, can't remember now. But I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I saw it's from a TV show, and it's Dr. Wiggles Wiener Wagon, and it was an ice cream truck. Well, just as a joke, it wasn't a broadcasted series or anything. Just as a joke, I said, I'm gonna paint me a car like it. So I did, and it's kind of been a hit. And painted on a few other cars now. I've got a next gen team like that. Now we've got these Gen 6 Cup cars. So man, it's just a fun thing. They both liked it. I painted one up for Daniel Cunningham for his next gen car in a different league that he runs. So it was just kind of a funny ha-ha type thing.
For sure. And it made it tough for me here tonight. I know it made it tough for some of the people watching at home, but it's always a good time. And there's your explanation, guys. And fortunately, your father didn't have to fall asleep during the caution laps here like he had to at Pocono a couple nights ago.
No,
But,
it was a clean race, man. It was fun.
It was a great race. But before we let you go, Garrett, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch. I know they're not on the hood of this car or anything, kind of a special one-off deal. So big shout out to them and Ratchet Speed Shop. Love having them on board. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page over at Wolfpack Racing and Andy, both good guys over there, great guys to know. So get to talk to them if you get a chance. All my teammates over at Reaper Racing, all of them, I pretty much consider them teammates now. All the JC Motorsports guys, I like hanging out with them, running with them, and just about everything I can. So big shout out to them too, Jonah and Daniel Cunningham that keep this series running. They did a pretty cool deal. We weren't really sure how these cars were going to play out, but so far it's been a blast. I've missed quite a few races, but I'm really enjoying the races I get to run with them. And then, of course, my short track team over at Velocity Motorsports. It's a lot of fun short tracking with those guys. And, of course, thank you up in the booth and Griff for making this whole league tick the way it does, man. It's an absolute blast.
For sure. You think you're going to be around next week for Bristol?
As far as I know.
Well,
as far as I know, I will be there.
How do you like your chances at Bristol?
I never count myself out at Bristol.
There you go. Well, there you have it, Garrett Kinder, your second place fisher. Again, congrats. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Bob.
That was your second place fisher, Garrett Kinder. Let's bring in your winner here, Jonah Colbert. Joni, got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, complete 180 from this week, from last week. Dominate the race and actually get the win here tonight. I know that's got to feel good, number one. But, man, the speed that you had tonight, how were you able to keep that long run speed as well as you did tonight and just leave everybody else in the dust?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I think I was just saving the tire right rear a little bit better. That's my only guess, because, I mean, the track temp was like 130 when we dropped the green flag, and it was slick and loose, and it was a lot of fun. I noticed early in the race a lot of people running the high line, and when Eddie got by me, he was dumping a bunch of dirty air on my front splitter, so I wasn't able to run the high line behind him because it was just pushing into the wall. So I made up my mind I was going to run the low line while he ran high, so I could get clean air. And plus, the car was getting a little hot because the temperature was so high outside, and I just kept running the bottom, and then pretty soon I caught Eddie and then passed him, and then I started pulling away. So I just stuck with it. I was like, well, I'm not going to move back up there. I just keep it down low, and it just seemed to work. And I figured it out by a complete accident. It was just total luck. I mean, if I had been in front, I would have been ripping the wall, and I probably would have got passed by Kinder or somebody else running the low line. So just kind of the way it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. I know Kinder said on that pit stop there, the first pit stop, his right rear was down to 22%. So real loose track here tonight. And man, that late race caution there must have threw a little loop into you as well. He must have scared you a little bit when that came out.
I started having my PTSD flashbacks from the week before and the week before that, and like the week before that, all these races where I've been leading late and ended up second or third. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Because Kinder, you take a loose race car with 5 laps to go, and there's probably no other driver in the series that I'd put my money on other than Kinder. I was really nervous at 13 to pass me, and he had that one run on me when I got loose, and I just knew it was over. I was kicking myself, but yeah, it worked out. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's probably the most fun that we've had in this series all season long. That was a really good combo tonight. So
Yeah, for sure. There's great racing all the way through the pack. Excitement all over the track here tonight. And next week we move on to Bristol. How do you like your chances over at the short track?
well, I ain't gonna win that race, but I'll I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. I might end up 10th or wrecked out. I don't know because I'm not much of a dirt guy, but it's going to be a really fun race. So we'll see.
Oh, is that going to be on dirt next week? I didn't realize that was going to be on.
Oh yeah, that's right. That next week's that's going to be on the concrete. I'm thinking of the Cup Series. Cup Series tomorrow is at Dirt Bristol for those wondering. So that's what I would have my mind on. But no, concrete Bristol. I'll be all right. Maybe a top 6 car. Hopefully.
We look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Bristol. Getting a little ahead of yourself with the dirt this weekend. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Shout out to Kinder Farm and Ranch and Garrett Kinder himself for the old Dr. Wiggles Wiener wagons tonight, man. We were having a blast with those things. And shout out to Intensity Broadcasting, Cofield Asphalt Finishing, Chuck Peg Leg Phelps for the Pole Award. He wasn't here tonight. He's usually cutting it up and chat with us, but we missed him. But shout out to Garrett Kinder and Michael Kostick for their podium finishes. It's always a blast racing those two. They're really clean drivers, and it's always a fun show. So, and that's about it.
Well, awesome, man. Again, congrats on the win, and good luck on the dirt this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
So there you have it. Your winner tonight, Jonah Colbert. Again, great race tonight. A lot of excitement. Late race yellow, really shaking things up there, but Jonah able to stay out and get the win here tonight. Don't forget to join us on Sunday night. We got our truck, the doubleheader, coming out this weekend. Again, you heard Jonah talking about it. We are going to be on the dirt this weekend in the Truck Series, Knoxville, for both races. So check that out here Sunday night. First race at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, congrats to Jonah Colbert and for another fantastic win here tonight. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say,